This is Crypto Kernels. I'm your host, Asa Kane. This episode is going to be an update on the case of the federal government versus disgraced FTX founder Sam Bankman-Fried in his first court appearance since his release from jail. We're also going to be sharing with you some information we've learned in regards to his parents and some of their involvement in some of his activities. Now, before we do so, if you have not already, make sure you hit the like button. Now, that's the thumbs up icon that you see me scrolling over directly underneath the video with 193 likes. It helps to share with other people like yourself who are new and who want to start learning today. Also, if you have not already, hit the subscribe button. What it does for you, it ensures that you don't miss out on the next episode, which is coming today at 9 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. That is our new time from Monday through Friday from now on. So you don't want to miss out tonight. Now, this first article I'm going to share with you is from TechCrunch. It was published today, less than an hour ago, by Jacqueline Melanick, and it states SBF's anticipated not guilty plea was a smart play. His not guilty plea to several federal fraud charges was largely anticipated and something a few legal experts suggested was a tactical response. The former CEO of crypto exchange FTX, whose company collapsed in November, made the plea in federal district court in New York. It's very common in the federal criminal justice system for defendants to plead not guilty at their initial appearance. Mary Beth Buchanan, a former U.S. attorney now advising blockchain companies, said to TechCrunch. In less than 2 months, SBF faced 8 federal criminal charges, while others close to him, including FTX co-founder Gary Wang and Alameda Research CEO Caroline Ellison, pleaded guilty to multiple charges and accepted plea agreements. SBF pleaded not guilty because he had the absolute right to do so. Anthony Sabino, a professor of law at the Peter J. Tobin College of Business at St. John's University, said to TechCrunch, and it was the smart play. Keep your options open. Do not give the government an edge. Wait it out. A deal can always be made later. Now, something else that I want to share with you, I'm going to highlight directly underneath. The U.S. Attorney states that we are not done charging individuals for the FTX collapse. That means that there are people out here walking free, celebrating the new year amongst us that have not yet been charged but are getting ready to be. Michael Fancello, crypto compliance officer at Anchain, agreed the initial plea of not guilty is really just a formality of process and recognition of the charges by the defendant. By pleading not guilty, it gives SBF more room to try to strike a deal with prosecutors. Lewis Kaplan, the senior judge of the U.S. District Court of New York, set his next trial date for October the 2nd. Not everyone expects that date to be set in stone or is confident that his plea will hold until then, or that he will hold it until then. This is not a case where you want to either plead not guilty and wage all out war or plead guilty and throw yourself at the mercy of the court, he said. The middle ground is the sweet spot here. His defense team will need more time to prepare given the mountain of evidence to sift through. So we'll see. Now, this next article is from Decrypt, and it was actually published yesterday, written by Sandra Lutz, and it states SBF gets to keep bail co-signer secret, just like his lawyer did for Ghislaine Maxwell in the Jeffrey Epstein case a couple of years ago. A judge approved a request that argued that signatories like his parents could face threats and harassment. His legal team successfully argued Tuesday, and I just picture him in the office there, and some of the team members, that the names of 2 signatories backing the disgraced FTX founder's $250 million bail bond should be hidden from the public. In a 6-page filing submitted to federal judge Lewis Kaplan Tuesday morning, his attorneys argued that the bond's other signatories, the former billionaire's parents, have already received threats and harassment since entering the public eye, following their son's dramatic fall from grace and subsequent arrest last month in December. Among other things, his parents have received a steady stream of threatening correspondence, including communications expressing a desire that they suffer physical harm, his attorneys wrote. Consequently, there is a serious case for the cause of concern for two additional sureties would face similar intrusions on their privacy as well. Of course they would. One case cited in the filing, written by Bankman-Fried's attorney Mark Cohen, is that of Ghislaine Maxwell, the convicted sex trafficker and former associate of Jeffrey Epstein. Cohen also represented Maxwell in that matter. Judge Kaplan granted the request in court Tuesday without prejudice. Federal prosecutors made no objection in the decision. Now, this is not a surprise. Tom Gorman, an attorney specializing in white-collar crime, told Decrypt, the publicity on this case is intense. Many do not appreciate it and are trying to stay out of the spotlight. Just before Christmas, he was released from federal custody in Manhattan on a historic $250 million bail. The former crypto executive, who was arrested a week prior on 8 charges. Oh, this is what I want to share with you. We know this. He did not have to pay a dime to be released to his parents' Palo Alto home. Instead, his parents and 2 other non-relative signatories were instructed to sign a reconnaissance bond, an agreement that puts those individuals on the hook for the bond's full amount if he ever fails to show up for court. If he ever fails to show up for court. It's a big deal having someone vouch for you for that. Not just his parents, but other people who have money, obviously. The former billionaire's lawyers argued Tuesday that in other high-profile trials, judges have ruled to redact information related to the identities of bail co-signers due to privacy and safety concerns. In typical criminal proceedings, the identities have been withheld. Now, this last article I want to share with you is from Yahoo News. Now, this is about his parents. His SBF's parents and FTX executives bought Bahamas property worth $121 million. And this is from Reuters. This is a picture of one of those properties on the inside, a swimming pool and some hangout part and a dining area, looks like. The parents of Sam Bankman-Fried, along with senior executives of the now bankrupt FTX, bought at least 19 properties worth nearly $120 million in the Bahamas over the past 2 years, according to a Reuters report. Most of the properties were luxury beachfront homes, including 7 condos in a high-end resort called Albany that cost nearly $72 million, according to the property records seen by Reuters. Wow. The properties were used as residences for key personnel, but there was no information about who lived in the apartments. Documents reveal another beachfront property in the gated community of Old Fort Bay with SBF's parents, Joseph Bankman and Barbara Fried, as signatories. The documents signed on June 15th revealed that it was intended for a vacation home. When asked by Reuters whether the vacation home was bought in cash or via FTX, a spokesman for his parents said that they have been trying to return the property to the exchange. What does that mean? Since before the bankruptcy proceedings, Mr. Bankman and Ms. Fried have been seeking to return the deed to the company and are awaiting further instructions, the spokesman said. FTX's real estate acquisitions were already known, but the documents provide the first glimpse into the scale of properties bought by the exchange earlier this month. Let me show you something. I'm going to link that in. I'm going to share a link to that in the description. I'm going to keep drilling this home. If you had the people that had their money on FTX would have had one of these, they would still have their crypto. Less than 10% of you, only 10% of you have one of these, a cold storage wallet. So less than 10% of you are in fact in control of your own crypto. Ledger is one of the leading worldwide manufacturers. They're based in Paris, France. You get one of these, you put your crypto, you move it off the exchange, wherever you have it at, Coinbase, KuCoin, Kraken, whatever. You put it on this. You take it with you. No one else has access to it. Okay, now that one sentence alone, if this has been of value to you, you can also get it right there. There's our link. Takes you to the official site, and you can get close to $100 in free crypto by using our links to sign up with Coinbase and Crypto.com right now. And if this has been of value to you, you can contribute via Cash App or with any ERC20 token to our address, which is in the description. Be ready for the next video. It's coming out tonight. In the meantime, get in there and make it happen.